Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Forum 360. I'm your host, Leia Love, and today we are here with Miss Heather Lence of Koi Beauty. She's going to talk to us about how we are going to have clean, natural, beautiful skin for our summer routines this summer. So Heather, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first question is, tell me how you got started and how you became so passionate about your brand.
Yeah, well, I got started about 4 years ago, and I started this sort of personal life journey probably 15 years ago, where I was really paying attention to the food that I'm eating. And so I took a few years and through some steps, I changed the way that I would feed my body. And so I got to a point where I started to research skincare products, because I wanted to, after I had changed my diet and changed the products in my kitchen, I wanted to know what I was putting on my body. And so I started researching skincare and learning about how skincare is created, how makeup gets created, and it really changed the way that I looked at cosmetics and skincare. And so I would go into the store and I would actually pull skincare products off the shelf and read the labels as if I was reading a food product, ingredients on a food product. And so what I realized is that we need to take care of our skin. We need to pay attention to what we put on our bodies, just as we do what we put in our body. Mm-hmm. And so at the time, I couldn't find any skincare products that were good enough for what I wanted to put on my body. Mm-hmm. And so I have a background in biology, and I worked in cancer research with the Cleveland Clinic and Akron General. And so I just sort of channeled my science background and decided to start formulating my own products. Because I couldn't find anything that I was willing to buy and use. And so I did that. And I then reached out to my Facebook group of Facebook friends, and I said, hey guys, I'm gonna start this product line. And I basically created my own grassroots Kickstarter right on Facebook. Okay. And so if they invested, there was different levels that they could invest in the business, and each level had a kickback or something that they could get in return for the investment. And so I raised all the money I needed to start the business, and so I did. And so they, those group of original investors and followers are still, majority of them are still with me, are still some of my biggest fans and of the product. And and so that's how I got started and why I got started. And I'm passionate about the product because, again, I think sometimes we forget that our skin is our largest organ. It has a huge job to do. I mean, think about, besides the fact that we look pretty funny if we didn't have our skin, but not only does it hold in our organs and things like that, but it protects us, it keeps us cool, it warms us. It also lets us know when something's not right, the goosebumps go, the hair. So it's, skin is important and we need to take care of it. And that's really why I'm passionate about it. And I know that I have treated myself of some minor skin issues because from formulating skincare with whole foods, with nourishing ingredients.
Good. So what made you decide on, outside of the natural niche, what made you decide to go into that area? I mean, there's so much with skincare where you could do makeup, you could do skincare, you can do hair. I mean, there's so much in the beauty industry. Mm-hmm. Outside of just looking for some products for you. What else made you decide to go into that?
Well, because again, our skin is, it's an organ. We have to take care of it. And so, yes, I looked at it for a while at makeup, but honestly, there were companies who were doing it well, and hair care too. I just didn't feel that there was skincare companies who were doing it well enough. Mm-hmm. So I decided to play in that arena.
Okay. So I guess that's what makes you a little bit different from a lot of the other skincare companies.
Yeah, I think so. And I think too, that because my products are made with whole foods, I mean with real food. You know, you could eat it.
Really?
It's not going to taste good. It'll still taste like soap and moisturizer, but you could. I mean, that's how clean it is.
Okay, so what made you decide to use those ingredients versus the other traditional?
Yeah, well, those are ingredients that I researched. And granted, you know, so for example, I have a turmeric soap. And we know there's tons of information out there talking about how turmeric is good for us to consume, healthy. It's good for inflammation, and it has fantastic internal benefits when we consume turmeric. But I wanted to find foods that had good topical applications, because it's, you know, it's skincare that I'm creating, not anything that you're consuming. And so I was researching turmeric, purple corn was another one, wheatgrass, and I was researching superfoods to find out which ones have relevant, good topical applications. And so those were the three products, the three superfoods I decided to use, and then that's how my product selection began. But that's what I was researching. You know, what food can have benefits for topical applications.
I don't think I have had the opportunity to talk to anybody who was really focused on the food aspect with the topical application.
Yeah.
To really make sure that you're using something natural and beneficial to your skin.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times, like in the beauty world, everything is used for preserving, or they say that you have to use these chemicals in order to hold things together. So how do you get around that with your foods? Do they still have the same shelf life?
They do not.
Okay.
No, because they have natural preservatives. So, for example, there are certain ingredients that bacteria struggle to live and grow in. And so you create products that have more of that so that you don't, so example, a lot of my products don't have a lot of water, because water is going to attract and harbor bacteria, fungus, things like that. So there isn't water in them. There's a lot of oils, which are I think that for the longest time we've been told that oils are not good for the skin. They cause acne. They clog pores and things. And while that's true, but the thing is, a lot of those oils were not plant-based oils. There was mineral oils, animal fat oils, and things like that were used hundreds of years ago. But plant-based oils have been used for a long time in other countries for skincare. So there's a lot of oils in the product. So that's how, really, to be honest, that's how I get around with not having to add preservatives and things like that. Now, there are natural preservatives, natural plant-based preservatives that were created in a laboratory. I don't even use those simply because I'm sure they're fine, but I haven't researched them. So I don't put anything in my products that I have not thoroughly researched and that I don't know much about, and that I wouldn't use on myself. So
Great. So where can people currently find your products at?
they can find them online at www.koibeautybar.com, K-O-I, koibeautybar.com.
Okay, Koi. Where did you get that name from?
Well, a couple different places. So the fun reason is that I'm a Pisces, and koi are Japanese fish.
Okay.
But the other part of it is that there's a legend about koi, and the legend is that a large school of koi were swimming upstream and up a waterfall, and for hundreds of years they tried to reach the top, and they kept trying, they kept swimming, and a lot gave up. But there was one that just kept going. It kept swimming against the current and finally made it to the top, finally succeeded after 100 years. And when the koi fish made it to the top, it was transformed into a beautiful dragon. So it's really the idea of koi is a transformational beauty.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so on your journey and your current, what's been the hardest part of it, or what have you experienced that you weren't necessarily expecting on your journey?
Well, one thing I experienced that I wasn't expecting, I knew that people would get results with my skincare because, I mean, how could you not? Putting clean, whole foods under your skin, you know, your skin's gonna eat it up and flourish as a result. But one thing I wasn't expecting was that I got tons of testimonials of eczema that was treated, psoriasis that was minimized. Psoriasis is actually an internal issue, but that manifests externally. So obviously psoriasis you want to take care of internally, but I've had clients who were able to minimize the outer appearance of the psoriasis from my products. Actually, dandruff, I have some customers that use the turmeric soap as a shampoo bar. Dandruff that has been, you know, relieved. So that's one thing I sort of just wasn't thinking about, wasn't expecting, that kind of these issues that people suffer from and take medicine for, and topical chemicals, topical creams laden with chemicals, you know, trying to get rid of these problems, and here my stuff was working for them. So I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think about it. So I would say that's been the coolest experience that I wasn't expecting.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in again. I am your host, Leia Love, and we are here today with Heather Lence of Koi Beauty, and we are talking about skincare that is clean and natural, and how to get a beautiful skincare routine for summer. So, speaking of that, if somebody has never had a skincare routine, what would be your advice to them?
Keep it simple. So definitely washing your face morning and night at the very least. And then after that, a toner is a good product, because what that does is remove any excess dirt and oil that maybe perhaps the washing your pores. Kind of seals the face, if you will. and then a moisturizer, or simply an oil, a plant-based oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, specifically for people who have dry or oily skin, what in your line would address both of those that they can move into with their skincare routine?
Actually, the moisturizing oil
Okay.
for both dry skin and oily skin. And I know that customers with oily skin are, you know, they're like, you're telling me I have oily skin, you're telling me to put an oil, and actually, yes, you actually do need an oil because your skin is out of balance. And so the oil will bring it back into balance, because we have a natural production of oil, the sebum, and that's okay, but sometimes it gets out of balance because of the current product that we're using. Again, your skin's a living, breathing organ, and it's paying attention to what you're putting on it. And so if you're using, you can sometimes use products that have ingredients that will set your skin off balance. So as an example, I used to have a lot of oil, very oily skin. I mean, I would do my makeup, I used to put on the primer, I used to get the dabbing, the blotching,
powder,
the strips, and, you know, do that. And I was like, my gosh, you know, by the few hours later, I mean, I can show you pictures where I have like a bright, you know, forehead, shiny forehead. And so I started to use oil on my skin. Again, like, this is crazy, I couldn't, you know, but I started to use oil on my skin, and it actually balanced it out. And so I have no more oily skin. My skin absorbs it. I think the two keys to keep in mind is, one, you want to use a plant-based oil, and then you also want to use oil that's lightweight and easily absorbed. So, for example, coconut oil, it's a fantastic oil. A lot of people use it. However, it's not easily absorbed. And as a matter of fact, it has such its absorption rating is so high, meaning it doesn't really absorb. It sort of sits on your skin and doesn't penetrate. And so as a result, some people actually never see a resolution in there. It actually does not help their dry skin because it's not penetrating deep to nourish. So you want a good lightweight plant-based oil. So meadowfoam seed oil is a good one. Baobab seed oil, which is what I have. Those are two great oils that I would recommend.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you would look at different products and you were looking at their ingredients. What are some of the ingredients that people should avoid, and what are some of the ingredients that they should look for?
Yeah, so anything with parabens, so you would know if you're looking at a paraben because it ends with ben, B-E-N.
What is a paraben?
A paraben is a preservative.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of studies, negative studies attached to what parabens can do. No mineral oil, that again, going back to the day when people said oil would clog your pores, mineral oil was one of the things. You also want to look for artificial colors, which again, it's usually yellow and then followed by a number, yellow number 5, things like that. Because certainly those are not going to be good for your skin. And then you want to, I mean, to be honest, you want to look for ingredients that you can pronounce. You want to look for real foods. You want to look for you want to look for oils, avocado oil, olive oil, almond oil. You want to look for palm oil, coconut oil, foods, turmeric, wheatgrass. You want to look for blueberry. I mean, you want to look for foods in your skincare. Those are ingredients you want to look for.
Okay, so again with the terminology, we hear mineral makeup and how it's so great. What is mineral makeup?
Yeah, what is mineral makeup? It's minerals, but you have to be careful because there can be like talc and sometimes even mineral oil added to them. So you definitely want to check the ingredients in your mineral makeup. But it's minerals. It's zinc oxide, it's titanium dioxide, bismuth, all that. I mean, it's crushed minerals. If you find a pure product that doesn't have any of the additives. And is it better for you? Is it good for you? Yeah, it can be. Do some people still react to it? They do. So I use mineral makeup. I've been using it for years, and I notice a difference when I have gone to back to conventional, like conventional brands. One time I had to. I lost all my makeup in the bathroom sink. The pipes burst and flooded my makeup.
Yeah.
So I had to quickly run to the store, and I was just grabbing stuff, and yeah, I could tell a difference, and I could tell a difference the way that it went on my skin and sat on my skin. But yeah, I mean, mineral makeup can be a good thing. So I would suggest people to experiment with it, give it a try, and see if it works for them.
And make sure that they avoid, you said talc as a number
Talc,
one.
mineral oil,
Okay.
yeah. Those are typically 2 additives in mineral makeup.
Okay. What are your 2 favorite products in your product line and why?
I would have to say the turmeric cleansing bar and that's tough. What was my other favorite product? I would
Now,
say
why the turmeric?
The turmeric, I mean, besides being the number 1 seller, I think it just yields. I mean, I guess for me, sometimes my skin gets a little funky in the wintertime, and so it treats my issues that I have. It's just one of my favorite products. It's the number 1 product. I think it's just the one that I sort of came up first, so it's just like my baby, you know?
Okay. And so that's good for basically all skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So someone who's having inflammatory issues like the eczema, psoriasis, things like that, it's good for that.
Okay.
It kind of calms the skin. And then I would say my other product would probably honestly be the moisturizing oil, which is simply organic baobab seed oil. It's a lightweight plant-based oil that I adore, that I've been using for years.
So why do you think more companies haven't adopted the natural route?
I don't know. That's a tough question because I guess from my view, a lot have. However, natural gets muddied because it's not a regulated term. And so even though something says natural, you still have to pay attention. You still have to read that label. But I think that a lot of people have adopted it perhaps from more of a marketing perspective. So why maybe they haven't gone beyond that, gone deeper, and literally created clean product is because, again, shelf life, scalability, it kind of limits them, unfortunately. That's the hard part about mass producing natural clean skincare. And so sometimes, sometimes you want to look for the small batch people, just like you look for the small farmers to get your produce from. But yeah, I mean, there are some good companies out there who have adopted the natural way of creating their skincare and have really great products.
Okay. Do you have anything new coming up that you would like your users to know about?
Yeah, I mean, I just launched the facial care line, kind of a soft launch. So I've had the soaps for quite some time, and I decided to. It took me for about a year and a half. I spent formulating and developing the skincare, and so I have a toner, a replenishing toner that has, again, real food, aloe, apple, peppermint. And then I have a daily nourishing cream that's, again, this beautiful blend of fruits, nuts, and seeds and herbs. And then I have the moisturizing oil, which is just organic baobab seed oil. And all of the products are made with the majority organic ingredients. So that's the newest thing on the horizon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the future look like if money was no object and branding and marketing? What would be your ideal vision of Koi Beauty?
Well, a big empire. A big empire ran by women, and yeah, just more skincare products, and definitely going into the makeup line, hair care. I would just expand and just build a giant empire. Yeah. Okay. So build a company and a brand for women by women.
Awesome, I love it. Are you open to new locations retailing your product?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So currently you're the only retail location, online and physical store?
No physical store, just we're online, just
okay.
right now,
okay.
online right now, yeah.
All right. So maybe we can find you another
Yeah,
location to
yeah,
be in.
yeah. We're talking with potential retailers, so we are
Okay.
definitely open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit about you. What's your philosophy on life, or what's your favorite quote?
Yeah, well, favorite quote. That's a hard one because I have a lot of favorite quotes. But you know what? I will tell you that my philosophy is pretty simple, and that's just to love people. It's a hard thing to do sometimes, but it's a fantastic way to be, and just let people be who they are and just love them.
Yeah. What do you value most about your business or life in general?
What I value with my business is that it's been able to help women with skin issues, and in turn helped them with confidence, because when we don't feel good about ourselves, when we don't feel good about the way we look, and granted, our value is not wrapped up in the way we look, but let's be honest, if we're self-conscious about something, it's hard for us to feel confident. And so I like that for a lot of women, my product has helped them feel better about their skin, about the way they look. And I would say I definitely value that, because I always wanted to have something where I can make a difference. And so that was really kind of, again, like a pleasant surprise, that I was able to make a difference in that kind of way with my business.
Yeah, I think people sometimes overlook that, or think that it's a bad thing if somebody wants to look nice, because it really affects your full mood, how you work, how you produce, everything like that. So
it does.
If you can increase their psyche, their aura, with your product, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us about your special offer you have for our listeners today.
Well, if they go to the website,
okay.
www.koibeautybar.com, and if they use the code FORUM360, they can get 20% off their entire purchase.
20% off for FORUM360 is the code, and it's KOIBeautybar.com. All right.
That's right.
So how else can people contact you if they would like to get your products?
They can email me at koibeautybar@gmail.com,
okay.
or go to the website and contact me through the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a Facebook page as well?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
So be sure to go and like her Facebook page.
We also have a Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yep. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us, viewers. This is Forum 360, where we have a global outlook from a local view. I'm your host, Leia Love, and you have a beautiful week.
Forum 360 is brought to you by Electrical Impulse Communications, the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, an anonymous donor, the Jewish Community Board of Akron, Medical Mutual of Ohio, Blue Green, and Forum 360 supporters.